Hey guys, my name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. It's been a couple of days, and I do apologise. I've just not had much to talk about, and yeah, we've had some interesting reveals today. We've got the Sunday preview, and it's heavy on the Horus heresy. The Fellblade Super Heavy Battle Tank is up for pre-order, or will be up for pre-order next week. This is probably going to be one of the last major plastic kits I buy for quite some time. Again, I know some people seem to really like to point out some hypocrisy there that, I talk about not wanting to buy GW kits and then I'll go and buy one, but I'm not saying don't go and buy the kits, I'm just saying, look, pick and choose your battles. This I'd rather build in plastic rather than resin, so it's just a personal choice. I like it, I'm going to get it. I don't know which army's getting it yet, but I know I want to build and paint a big tank because I like big tanks. Mark II Assault Squad. This is a really interesting one. We've talked about this before. Really interesting design choice to go with all chain axes. Aesthetically, I don't mind them. I think they're okay, but it's not one I'm going to be buying from GW for a while. I don't need it. If I'm adding more Assault Marines to something at the moment, I'm probably just blasting it out of my printer, to be honest. So yeah, the Journal Tactica, the Forges of Saturn. This one's going to be interesting because it's going to give us Saturnine equipped Centurions, command squads, and also the Word Bearers are getting their demon infused versions. And then we're getting the Legion's combat forces. So the Space Marines, Mechanicum, and Solar Auxilia. No word on price yet. These are tempting, simply just because of the price point. And probably a good way of starting a new army as well. This is definitely something that's been missing from the Heresy, a good way to start collecting. I'm just worried about the prices of them. Other than that, it's lots of Middle-earth stuff. We had a good chat about this movie in Discord earlier this evening. I think this film I think was released at the wrong time, and I think it hurts because of the sort of political climate a lot. Like, it's really silly. I think if this whole story had been released in the 80s, I think it would have been a cult classic. But I think nowadays everyone is so burnt out with the message, as it were, in pop culture, that a lot of people just kind of wrote this off because the moment they saw that it was a female lead, they were just like, nah, I'm done, I don't want to watch this. Which is a shame because a lot of good stories are like that. But yeah, it also, just doesn't happen. It's a completely fictional story in the sense that it's not what's in the Lord of the Rings or in the appendices and stuff. Some of the ugliest dice I've ever seen. And some not too bad dice. A really nice cover for Voidsguard. Yeah. A normal covered for Voidsguard, which is not as good. Remnant Blades. It's been so long since I've read a Warhammer book that I'm just not interested in them anymore. Yeah, I think I read Redemption Core and it kind of killed my need to ever read another Games Workshop book. Darkness Eternal. Okay. Elemental Council. Oh, this is the one with the really, really weird looking towers in it, yeah. And then the usual Warhammer Plus. Well, this wasn't it. This wasn't everything, because not only did we get this, there was a very brief leak of a new Marnius Calgar, and then these guys dropped pretty soon after. So we have Marnius Calgar back in Terminator armor. I don't mind it. I think the face is very cartoonish. It's a little bit too much for me. I think that I think that we're losing something that made Games Workshop so great, like the detailing in the models, and to kind of go for a more cartoony aesthetic, and I don't think it's a good thing. But all in all, the design of the model, I have no major complaints about it. It is Calgar and Terminator armour. It's quite nice. But it's not all we're getting, because we're also getting a really nice Cato Sicarius. Cato Sicarius, the Duke of Thalassar, the captain of the Victrix Honor Guard, and many other titles, has a quite nice updated model. Now, I've already heard people who don't like the fact that he's on a tactical rock, which are some stairs. I get that. I can understand that completely. Tactical rocks make posing more interesting. The only issue here is that it is a very static pose. You know, it's very tied up. It's a very classic kind of metal or resin model style pose where everything is close into itself. And I don't know, you know me, I like to repurpose models. I like to make something out of something else, and I think that this one just simply doesn't have that much space. I also think this sword design is very strange for an Ultramarine. You know, very late sort of, or, you know, early Dark Ages in its style versus the very clear Roman style of a lot of other Ultramarine aesthetics. I also think it's quite funny that basically his entire aesthetic is how far away can we get from Primaris Marines now. But it's nice, it's not bad, there's good crisp details, so that's nice. He's got two heads. It's a bit weird that he's got two bare heads. I wouldn't have minded seeing an alternate arm down at the side, and then the ability to give him a helmet. I think that would have been a nicer option. Maybe a bolt pistol or whatever down here. But then we also have the Victrix Guard back again. Some people pointed out recently that the company command squad disappeared off the website, and yes, you know, this is a fairly faithful update of the company command squad. It comes with enough parts to make a company champion and also standard bearer, which seems really nice. And it's a massive banner. It's an absolutely stonking banner, and I really like it. It's a bit sad that the Victrix Guard appear to have lost their really iconic shields, that the two that went with Calgar before. But yeah, I like them. They're a good update to the classic command squad, and the aesthetic is definitely moving back towards Space Marines. I like it. You know, I like the fact that we're getting there eventually. It's just taking far too long to get away from the very sterile and boring Primaris aesthetic. Am I going to be jumping in and buying an Ultramarines Primaris army? No, probably not. But these parts, you know, this is very much the shoulder pad that was on the old command squad. So yeah, I think all around this is a relatively good refresh of an existing kit. I don't have any major complaints. I'm sure some people will. This guy I could see being used to make some really interesting heresy conversions. So yeah, I'm really hoping this is good. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any complaints, do let me know down in the comments down below. And guys, I do have to let you know that I will be away for the most of this week. I am off camping, so even if there is the most world-ending news in the hobby, I will not be making a video of it, because I simply will not have access to a computer, because I'm going camping in the Lake District, where I'm probably going to get very soggy. Other than that, guys, I hope you've had a good week. I hope you have a good weekend. It's been a real dark couple of days, and I hope you're doing okay. As always, let's have a conversation down in the comments, and I, want to hear what you think. My name's Bando. This is Brexit Bando. Bye bye.